Yo, peace and love to everybody. Welcome to Hey Roo Study Hall. Today I'm going to be sharing this presentation that I've been working on for the past few weeks. Proof technologically advanced ancient civilizations existed globally. I'm going to share as much information as I can on this live stream, and I'm still going to be updating my information. And then at the end of this presentation, I'm going to share all my references for anybody that does want to do the research after this presentation. And yeah, let's get straight to it. So now, proof technologically advanced ancient civilizations existed globally. I know y'all may be wondering, like, why is that important to you? Because the history books need to be revised. It needs a revision, and people like Zahi Hawass, or the person that's on the screen right there, you know, is one of the main reasons why I'm doing this live stream presentation, because you have what is known as gatekeepers. Okay, you have what is known as gatekeepers, and if y'all still here, I'm gonna show y'all a video that further proves my point, that as to why I'm even doing this. You feel what I'm saying? And I'll be on a platform known as Bigo, from Bigo. It's a platform where you can become a paid host, you can become an agency owner, you can make money on there, and it's the intellectual side of Bigo that I would say I'm a part of. Let me get my disclaimer: I'm not a part of no conscious community, but I'm a part of. I interact with the intellects of Bigo. You know what I mean? And it's a certain group of people on there that deny the fact that these ancient civilizations were technologically advanced, and for the past, I would say, year or two, me and a few other people have been having some quarrels or back and forth on, you know, how the pyramids were built. Because they teach us that they, let me just get straight into it. But long story short, they basically say that they use a pulley lever system and copper chisels and stuff like that. But when I'm finna show y'all like the level of precision, you know, evidence of machines, stones. I'm gonna share why the pyramids was built, but I'm gonna also go around the world to the best of my ability. I'm gonna go to India. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go to some other places too, even Japan, under the water too. So without further ado, I'm gonna just get straight into it. All right. Now, oh yeah, and the debate was supposed to be September 10th of this year, and then then soon after we planned it, we actually agreed to do presentations, but soon after that, he decided to cancel, which is understandable. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want this presentation to go in vain, so I'm not gonna just let this just sit on my computer. I want to share this with the world. So, as you can see, it says, when confronted with evidence about experiments that failed to replicate megaliths moved by ancient Egyptians, Zahi Hawass, supposed expert on Egypt, has a history of taking temper tantrums to avoid discussing theories that challenge his beliefs. And I'm gonna play a clip of this, by the way, too. So, my opening statement, right? You know what I'm saying? Technologically advanced means, in context, right, that they were advanced for their time in engineering, astronomy, medicine, architecture, mathematics, navigation, etc. As you can see those you see those megalithic structures, and I'm gonna share my references, but I would highly recommend look 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 into a scholar by the name of Christopher Dunn. You can look him up on YouTube and check out some of his books. The Giza Power Plant and the Lost Technologies in Ancient Egypt, and it breaks down. You have to look into what is known as metrology. You know what I'm saying? Metrology. Look into that, and check his books out too, because he has pictures in there, and it shows the level of precision. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to these, not just these statues, but other ones as well. So that being said, let me just keep it pushing. But multiple civilizations demonstrate technologies far beyond what is expected of their era. Again, they say copper chisels, pulley systems. They said that they quarried 20-ton stones 500 miles. You have to you have to take time to think when it comes to that theory. You know what I'm saying? And when we say technologically advanced, we mean the ability to apply science, engineering, and knowledge to create systems, structures, and innovations that seem ahead of their time. And according to mainstream history, they say that these megalithic structures were physically manifested in between the time of 3200 BCE. They say some of the pyramids was built like around 2600 something BCE. Around in BCE means before the Common Era. Okay, so just putting that out there, and I stand on you know the fact that these civilizations are way much older, and I'm going to show and prove that due to what is known as water erosion. You know what I'm saying? And mainstream chronology was created to validate all three monotheistic religions. Hence, that's why they teach that slaves built the pyramids and stuff like this, which is not true. So, and here's some of my arguments. You know what I'm saying? Right here, you got archaeological anomalies, right? You know, from the pyramids of Giza to the megalithic temples of Peru. Y'all can look that up. In the precise stonework of Punku. Y'all can look that up too. We see the evidence of advanced engineering that cannot be explained by conventional tools. Okay. Then you got mathematical and astronomical mastery. You see what I'm saying? You got ancient cultures worldwide that track the solstices, equinoxes, and planetary movements with stunning precision. Suggestions. Suggest a shared knowledge base. You see what I'm saying? So hence, that's why I emphasize on proof technologically advanced ancient civilizations existed globally. I'm not just stuck in Egypt or Africa. Like we can go from Napa Playa to Stonehenge, all over the world, which is what we're going to do. And then also cultural and symbolic parallels. You know what I'm saying? Recurring myths, of great floods. It's a lot of it's multiple flood stories. Pyramidal structures and cosmological symbolism appear across continents, pointing to a common origin or shared global memory, right? So taken together, these points strongly suggest that ancient humanity was more advanced and interconnected than mainstream narratives allow. So I look forward to presenting evidence and addressing any kind of arguments, whether it's in the comments. This was for the debate that I was supposed to have, but it's okay because I'm not really a big fan of debates anymore. I'm more focused on building and elevation of consciousness. But this picture on the right, this is from the Emerald Tablets. Billy Carson. A lot of people say that he's a pseudo, that he's a charlatan, this, that, and the third. But he's the only black person on the internet that's actually bringing new information. You feel me? That you can actually go research for yourself. But if you read this right here, it says, if you only knew the magnificence of the 3, 6, and 9, then you will have a key to the universe. And that's what Nikola Tesla said. And I'm gonna get into 0 point energy maybe today, but I'll definitely do it in another video. But it says the equinox and solstices are in March, June, and September. 3, 6, 9. March is the third month, June is the 6th month, September is the 9th month. We in September right now, and you see all the stuff that's going on. So, during the fall solstice, I just find it weird how all this crazy stuff is happening, as if they energy harvesting or performing what is known as frequency manipulation, fear mongering, anger mongering, division, instigating, war type stuff, you know what I mean? But most ancient civilizations worship the equinox and solstices. So did Tesla figure out the magnificence in these events? So, I give Tesla his credit, but he got it from somewhere as well. So now we're gonna get into etymology and all that, you know what I'm saying? Because this is exactly how I was gonna come in that debate / presentation. Technology, right? It go back to like the Greek. You feel me? But look, let me go back. Hold on. Text, to weave, to fabricate. Technique, art, skill, craft, and work, right? Leg, as you can see, to collect, gather, to speak, to pick out words. Logia, which is Greek, speaking, discourse, treatise, doctrine, theory, science. Technologia, however you say it, systematic treatment of an art, craft, or technique. And then we get technology, which is a discourse or treaty of an art, keyword art, or the arts. Okay, so I just had to break that down. You see what I'm saying? Advance is far ahead in the course of actions or ideas, beyond being beyond others in attainment, degree, etc. Past participle adjective from advance. Okay, so basically, just keep in mind far ahead in the course of actions or ideas. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about, as you can see in the picture. That's what I mean by advance. Okay, civilization, right? The stage of human, social, and cultural development and organization that is considered most advanced. Okay, okay, we just literally just went through advanced. Okay, so boom. Now, give me 1 second. Hold on. Make sure I just wanted to check something. Make sure my connection is still good. All right, so it's decent. Now, this term gets thrown out a lot on the internet, particularly YouTube and Bigo. You know what I'm saying? It's a certain group of people on YouTube that love to use the term pseudo. They love calling people pseudo. That's pseudo. You're pseudo. That's pseudo science. That's pseudo archaeology. You know, and this term gets thrown out a lot. You know what I'm saying? So, what is pseudoscience, right? A collection of beliefs or practices mistakenly regarded as being based on scientific method. Okay, a collection of beliefs or practices mistakenly regarded as being based on scientific method. And I wish I may have to open up another PowerPoint because I actually have a scientific method on another PowerPoint. I need to copy and paste it and add it to this one. But yeah. But as you can see on the bottom, it says science versus pseudoscience, right? Science is this falsifiable, right? Forms hypothesis that can be tested and disproven, right? Relies on the consistent findings of a body of scientists. Uses data to continually change and keyword refine hypotheses. If I said that right. Now, pseudoscience is not falsifiable. Seeks data that prove the findings and ignores that data that don't. Keep that in mind. Ignores data that don't, right? Relies on a new self-proclaimed experts. Relies on a few self-proclaimed experts that decide what is true. Hence, like on Bigo, you have people. I'll give you an example. The SAR technology that they use to find stuff or to basically scan underneath the pyramids, and they made some discoveries. You have people that's on Bigo that's quick to say, oh, there's a group of people, there's some archaeologists that's debunking that right now. But they never say no names. They never show no articles. They just basically just running their mouth. You see what I'm saying? And then also does not change conclusions in the face of contradicting data. Okay. Now debunk, because you hear this all the time too. That's been debunked. That's been debunked. Well, what does debunk mean according to Google, according to the Oxford Language Dictionary or whatever? It means expose the falseness or hollowness of a myth, idea, or belief. Okay. And I added ad hominem because as adults, we have to be mature, be respectful. You know what I'm saying? Like you have people that believe in the evolution theory. I don't believe in the evolution theory at all. I don't believe evolution took place. I don't believe a whole bunch of random mutations took place. But I'm not gonna attack the person. I'm gonna attack the information. But a lot of times people attack the person and not the information. Like you see what I'm saying? So ad hominem, right? Of an argument or a reaction is directed against a person rather than the position they are maintaining. Okay. So the adverb is in a way that is directed against a person rather than the position they are maintaining. See what I'm saying? So a person will call somebody pseudo, you know what I'm saying, instead of attacking the information. So now we're gonna deal with archaeological anomalies. You feel what I'm saying? You gotta be 100. Those pyramids were built the way it was on purpose. You have people talking about people dedicated their life just to cut stone and pulled the stone 500 miles just for a pharaoh. You have to really just think for a second. Like this level of precision is by default advanced. As you can see, the speed of light is the same number as the latitude of the Great Pyramid of Giza. Go look it up. Go do your research. Look, the speed of light is the same number as the latitude of the Great Pyramid of Giza. So they knew what they was doing. And during a certain time of the year, as you can see, the pyramid has 8 sides. During I believe it's the summer and winter solstice. Correct me if I'm wrong. So the not only the level of precision, the Giza pyramids are aligned with cardinal points. You see what I'm saying? Y'all can go look up Puma, Punku, the stonework. You can look at the machine-like cuts. You can go to Easter Island. You know what I'm saying? Massive transport without known technology. And no disrespect, but I seen a video of people with some ropes. And it was kind of just wobbling it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say too much when it comes to that. It is what it is. Y'all can do your research on Easter Island. And then the Osirian, right? Huge blocks. No Egyptian glyphs or evidence of Egyptian involvement of its physical manifestation. And I'm gonna get into the Osirian also. I'm gonna pause for a second. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. But if you don't have this book already, I would recommend that you go get it. The Stolen Legacy by George G.M. James. Go get the book. You know what I'm saying? When I started getting into this information, the first book I got was The Destruction of Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams. You know, that was like my first book. No, I take that back. It was the Browder Files by Tony Browder, and then from that I went from that to Stolen Legacy, and then Destruction of Black Civilization, and then I just kind of just went all around the board. But this is on page 96, so let y'all sit, check it out. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can scan through the pack. I'm gonna read a certain section in a second. All right, let's go. So boom, right in the middle of the page, you see where it says, according to Herodotus, right? Because we're dealing with proof that technologically advanced ancient civilizations existed globally. We're gonna start in Egypt and we're gonna go around the world. According to Herodotus, the Egyptian priests possessed supernatural powers, for they had been trained in the esoteric philosophy of the greater mysteries and were experts in magic. They had the power of controlling the minds of men, hypnosis, the power of predicting the future, prophecy, and the power over nature, the power of gods, by giving commands in the name of their divinity and accomplishing great deeds. Okay, so even Herodotus, is backing up my claims as well. So now, well, I don't believe he existed. I could care less whether he existed or not. But even the Greeks is backing up my claim. You know what I'm saying? That the level of advancement when it comes to mental, spiritual and technological. You know what I'm saying? So boom, on this slide, right? I had to put this. What are the pyramids in Giza and who built them? This from National Geographic. You can go look this up. But there's people on Bigo and on the internet that's making this claim, right? Scientists and engineers are still debating, keyword, they're still debating how the pyramids were constructed. It is generally believed that the Egyptians moved massive stone blocks to the heights along large ramps, greased by water or wet clay, using a system of sledges, ropes, and rollers and levers. Now, mind you, it's millions of stones. Okay, just keep that in your mind. But we're gonna keep it pushing because this is what they're saying. Metal tools. Now, this is on archaeopress.com. Right, metal tools of the pyramid builders and other craftsmen in the Old Kingdom. Now, keep that in mind. Old Kingdom. Keep that in mind and look up the chronology while y'all at it. Matter of fact, I think it's right here. Yep. The Old Kingdom of Egypt, Dynasty 4 or 6, right? Around 2600 to 2180 BC, is famous as the period that saw the building of the largest Egyptian pyramid. Generally, it has been accepted that only humble remains of copper alloy tools are preserved from this area. What might be more surprising is that there has been little analytical work of archaeometallurgy on the preserved metal objects from the old kingdom. And I put this picture right here because I keep hearing people say they use saws and this, that, and the third. Let me go back. Let me see. Hold on. Do I got that picture? Hold on. Where's that? If I find it, let me see. I think I'm close. Here you go, right here. Now they did an experiment, I guess, because they say that they put whatchamacallit, since oh goodness, I'm sorry about that. The copper saws or whatever. They said they wasn't really sharp enough to really cut through the stone, so they put sand, as an abrasive, and it helped them cut through the stone. So as you can see, this is the saw that these two men are using, and mind you, just millions and millions of stones. You see what I'm saying? So this is what they said that they use, y'all. This is what they said that they use. And this information I actually got from the book Lost Technologies of Ancient Egypt, Christopher Dunn. And I'm gonna show it at the end of this presentation. But yeah, Lost Technologies of Ancient Egypt by Christopher Dunn. I don't know the exact page, but these are the tools that they say that they use: wooden squares, wooden plumb bobs, wooden bows for bow drills, wooden sledges or sleds for hauling. Okay, wooden pry bars for levering heavy weights, wooden handles for axes, wooden hammers or mallets. Okay, copper chisels, copper saws, copper tubular drills, copper. I don't know, adzis. Gotta look that up, but it's made of copper. Stone dolerite pounders or hammers, stone chisels, stone axes. These are the alleged tools that were used to build the pyramids of Giza, allegedly. So they say. So they say. Right. So I looked up. I said, what tools were used to cut the stones of the pyramid? It says ancient Egyptians used copper chisels, saws, and drills for softer stones like limestone, often with sand as an abrasive for harder materials and for drilling. Dolerite pounders and wedges were likely used for harder stones, while sand abrasion with a hard powder like quartz or corundum was employed for the drilling and cutting granite. Okay. Now, one of the tools that stuck out to me was the saws. So I'm gonna get deeper into that. So then I looked up. Also. I said, can a copper chisel cut through granite? It says no. A pure copper chisel cannot cut granite because copper is much softer than granite. It will not effectively abrade the stone. It says, however, ancient Egyptians and others have used copper tools as part of a technique where a harder abrasive like sand or corundum is introduced into the cutting area. Like I was just saying earlier, the copper tool then moves back and forth using the embedded or applied abrasive particles to grind and wear away the granite. So, I always hear this term, work smarter, not harder. So just keep that in mind. You know what I'm saying? And then I put limestone. I also put limestone as well. I asked, can a copper chisel cut through limestone? It said yes, a copper chisel can cut through limestone, but it is only effective on freshly quarried, softer limestone and requires frequent resharpening and the use of abrasives like sand and water to maximize its effectiveness. Harder stones like granite require other techniques, such as fire and the use of harder pounders, because copper is too soft to work them efficiently. And it's the tools and I'm still looking. If anybody got any other tools, feel free to show them. Okay, so now I'm going to play this video. This is for educational purposes only. You know what I'm saying? I don't know copyrights to none of this. Mr. John Turkey Hawass himself. You feel me? Let's go. I'll get to my volume. Let me turn my volume up. Wait a minute. Hold on. I got to do the volume. I have my volume off. Give me 1 second.
This man is a thief and a good booklet. And a good book is very much there is
I'm going to start it over. I want y'all to hear. Please read every word. Read the transcripts as you listen. Please listen to what he's saying. He's talking about Zaki Hawass is the one shouting and having a temper tantrum. Graham Hancock is trying to calm him down and actually present new, updated information. And Zaki Hawass issue with Robert Bauval, and I just ordered his book yesterday. His book just came in the mail yesterday. And he got other books, but I've got Black Genesis. You know what I'm saying? The prehistoric origins of ancient Egypt, right? And for some reason, Zahi Hawass got beef with him. You feel me? But please check out please listen closely to what he's going to say, because I don't want to pause. Just please listen.
This man is a thief, and I don't want to talk to him. And I don't want to spend too much time. There is a story that he is not. In academic world, we do not do unfair violence. We do not debate that. Listen, we debate that. The matter is debated really and closed. It is debated closed. It's closed in Chicago by workers, by everyone. Then how you go? Exactly, and they won't get it. No, please don't say this. Because don't say this one to me. It's a shame on you, not on me. We have no discussion about all that. Don't talk to me. Please, go away from me. Shame on you. Why social media? Watch. I told you so. This man did bad things.
Yeah, I gotta pause. I wonder what did he do? Why is he so angry at him?
I don't know this man. And I want to call. I want to let this man know that this can be happen. Because he's a crook.
All right, now keep that in mind. He that's slander. He said he's a crook. He said you're not gonna allow him in the country. Who are you? Who are you?
But listen, we should please, I don't want to please. Let us just.
Basically, you say,
why someone talk about a killing of someone else? Why? Why talking about a killing that has been closed? Why have to open the theory again? The theory is not closed. It is closed up. It's not everywhere. And I don't know why we talk about it. It's not. It's his fucking thing. Why do you talk about it? You have to present your work here. Not to present the
it is not closed.
I closed it. And I closed it. Everybody closed it.
He said, I closed it. You heard him? And we're going to get into gatekeepers too.
I am presenting my own.
Okay, I'm going to do this.
I have written yours, Mr. Bowman.
Even before a word is exchanged, what image? And Mr. Hawass leaves the room. Sheikh. I'm here. I'm willing to debate. I do believe this is a great shame for you to come here. Sorry, Bhavan said it to the alternative one.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't try to tell him. Don't try to tell him who not to bring up and what not to say. Come on, Chuck.
We cannot have a discussion without Bhavan.
So that's the image right there. Let me see. That's the image that he was mad about. It said Dr. Zahi Hawass was reacting to this image of Robert Bauval. He returned to give his talk, but did not engage in the planned debate because he didn't want no smoke. You know what time it was. You already knew what time it was. But look, I put this rage quit and get your job back anyways, like a boss. Let's keep it pushing, man. So gatekeeper again. If you remember what he was saying, he kept saying it's been debated and closed. I closed it. You heard him. So again, the main reason why I'm even doing this presentation is because you got gatekeepers. You got people that's trying to forcefully keep people stuck in a module of existence. They'll sit there and tell you that those pyramids were built around 2600 something BC for a pharaoh. But I got information based, from accredited geologists that shows proof of water erosion and that they're way older than what they're claiming them to be. Okay, so again, gatekeeper, an intended employee to control who goes through a gate. You feel me? A person or thing that controls access to something. Okay, so this right here, y'all might have seen this before. Y'all please go look up a lot of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because there's pyramid structures all around the world. I'm not here to say which one's the best or whatever the case may be. I'm just showing proof that technologically advanced ancient civilizations factually existed. So, you know, how were the pyramids built? How? That's a question that we all want to know, including myself. I'm still doing my research. Okay, how were they built? Is the question. Because people are saying that. Let me go back. Hold on. Let me go back. Hold on. Where's that? It says the Egyptians moved massive stone blocks to the heights along large ramps greased by water or wet clay, using a system of sledges, ropes, rollers, and levers. That's what they say. Okay. I'm gonna pause for a second, right? Just take the time to just look at this picture. Just imagine yourself actually being there on feet, looking at this pyramid. Just take the time, and then imagine using a pulley lever system. You feel me? Copper chisel tools. You know, these ropes and all that to build this megalithic structure. Just take. I'm gonna give you about a minute, about 1 minute, and I'm looking at it as well. So about 1 minute. Just take the time. Just really check it out. Because I'm finna bring up some points in a minute. All right. It's really just like if you was there doing field research, like think of some key, like what mental notes would you be taking right now? And I can put it in the chat if y'all want to, or the comments. You feel me? Because they say that they quarried these stones. I think I want to say about 500 miles. They, and in order to quarry, it's certain way that you have to quarry stones and stuff as well. Which I'm not a what you gonna call it? I'm not an archaeologist. I don't work construction, or I don't really deal with stones, or I'm not an engineer, so I'm not a professional. So I'm not gonna get too deep into that. But it's certain ways that you have to do certain things. All right. So as y'all see the image right here. So I'm just gonna keep it pushing. Okay. So here's some key points and questions. Okay. Here's some key points and questions. Okay. Number one, pyramids are not tombs. Okay. No mummy has ever been found inside the pyramid. All mummies were found in the Valley of the Kings. Okay. Number two. Okay. Now here. Let me just calm down. How do you cut 20-ton blocks of granite with extreme precision and lift them one on top of the other in the king's chamber with wooden ramps? Okay? And I'm going to show you something that weighs 70 tons later in this presentation. Okay, so number three, suppose wooden ramps were employed. They said wooden ramps. That's what they said. Wooden, I don't know what other ramps they could have made. I don't know if they said mud, but suppose wooden ramps were employed. An entire force would need to be cleared to supply the wood necessary for transporting 2.3 million massive stone blocks. Where on earth is the proof of such extensive wood usage? You see what I'm saying? Number four, and people ain't gonna like it, but it is what it is. There is not a single hieroglyph text that says ancient Egyptians built the pyramids. Am I taking away from our greatness? No, but we have to be mature. There is no hieroglyphic text that says any of that. Now, number five. Now, how many slaves or workers do you need to quarry out and lift 2.3 million stones? Where do you find people who can laser cut and lift huge tons of granite? Because one side says that slaves did it, and the other side says that workers did it, and they basically dedicated their life and multiple generations to build this megalithic structure. So number six, it says, how do you position the whole pyramid to face true north 4,000 years ago when the builders didn't know about the wheel? Number seven, the top of the pyramid is 1/4 of an inch off center, right? That's after placing 2.3 million blocks of stone. When you divide that accuracy at which the stones were placed, is unparalleled and has never been done by modern architects with all modern technology. Okay. And here's another one. What about all the megalithic structures around the world? Why were they building the same geometry with almost the same techniques? What about the pyramids of Japan, found underwater? Conclusion: 90% of, I would say almost, yeah, about 90% of human history is being taught by the conquerors or the victors. Okay. Okay. So this right here is what is known as the diary of a pyramid laborer. Okay. Diary of a pyramid laborer. So they say. Logbook of Mirror, however you say his name, 2500 BC. Okay. So they say. So they say, right? So they say. The Diary of Mirror is the name for papyrus logbooks written over 4,500 years ago by Mirror, a middle-ranking official with the title keyword inspector. Okay. They are the oldest known. They are the oldest known papyri with text dating to the 26th year of the reign of Pharaoh Khufu, reign in the early 26th century BC, estimated around 2589 to 2566 BC during the fourth dynasty of Egypt. The text, written with hieratic hieroglyphs, mostly consists of lists of the daily activities of Merwer and his crew. In the best preserved sections, papyrus Jarf A and B, document the transportation of white limestone blocks from the Tura quarries to Giza by boat. Okay. Now, I just want to say something real quick. We're going to just another pause. Just take the time, just really just look at this look at the fragments of these papyrus or papyri. And what comes to your mind? Because I'm gonna tell y'all what comes to my mind. I'm gonna give y'all about like 20, 30 seconds. What comes to your mind? Because I'm gonna tell you what comes to my mind. All right. Let me tell you what comes to my mind. For one, it's not a complete papyrus. If I was in college and I had an assignment that I had to write out on paper, right, like an essay or whatever, if I turn my paper in and it looked like this, are you going to accept that? Are you going to even grade it? Be honest with yourself. And they claim that this is the alleged papyrus that they discovered that shows like basically like a logbook for the people that built the pyramids. So they say all you see is fragments. It's not the entire papyrus. It's like the Rosetta Stone. It's a huge chunk missing of the Rosetta Stone. But they said that the Rosetta Stone was allegedly used to translate the Meta Netra, the hieroglyph. So we got to use discernment, and we got sometimes you got to let the ego go. It's nothing wrong with saying I don't know, you know. So moving forward, you know, and here's my perspective. This is my honest perspective right here on how they were built, you know. And I'm still learning. I'm still doing my research. Okay, I'm gonna play a little quick video after I read this real quick. The pyramids were built off levitation, which is the manipulation of sound to cause a natural disconnection of gravity between two objects, which naturally pull them together. The sound disaccords the natural phenomena, and from there you're able to make an object that weighs a ton weigh zero in mass. In quantum physics, our ancestors in science today has already proven that there's an energy point called zero-point gravity, where you can make anything that has a physical mass weigh 0 points due to raising the octave of its natural vibration and of its molecules in its natural vibrational state to a different pitch. Okay, so if you're not familiar, I would highly look into cymatics. And if you're going to be egotistical, just going about your business. But if you're serious, look into cymatics. Because I know some people going to try to say, oh, cymatics, all they do is put rice and sand on a plate and they use water. Just look into it. Be at least, you know, if you look up some videos or get some books on Amazon. Only reason why I don't have no books for the last time I looked, the prices was pretty high for cymatics. So I wonder why they got the prices so high. But here's the video. Watch this. Okay. Okay. So you just seen that. Okay. So look into cymatics and or levitation by sound. Okay. So let me see. So on to the next slide. And I would highly recommend that you get the people could say what they want about Billy Carson. If you haven't read his book front to back, I really could care less about your opinion. You could say he's pseudo. You could say he's a charlatan. You could say whatever you want to say. I could care less. I'm not here to defend nobody or attack nobody. I mean, well, Zahi Hawass, I don't like dude. I'm gonna be honest. I really don't like. It takes a lot for me not to like a person. So I don't like Zahi Hawass because I consider him a gatekeeper and he's trying to trap us in a certain module of existence. And when people present new information, he attacks it and throws a little temper tantrum. You feel me? So Anunnaki and cymatics. Okay, check this out. The Anunnaki of ancient Sumer and contemporaries of the earliest Egyptian dynasties taught humans the secrets of levitation and anti-gravity. Now that's up for discussion. Okay, you can see this Anunnaki giant in the above Sumerian cylinder scroll that has been analyzed dozens of times by scholars. But the secret eludes them. How are we to look at this? As you can see on the top right there, right? Scientifically speaking, four things are necessary to reverse the magnetic polarity in an object. Deeper explanation is going to be explained on the next slide. Now, just sit. Y'all can read it if y'all want. Just take a little time. It's a little hot. Let me adjust my fan. I'm a little hot right now. Let me adjust my fan real quick. Hold on. I'm already getting hot now. All right. All right. And we know the word Anunnaki, that's English. We know that. We're not going to deal with the semantics and all that. But we can agree that, when we look at the Sumerian, glyphs and texts and stuff, we can do our own research and come to our own conclusion. You know what I'm saying? But check this out, right? Now, the magnetic field generator, right? The man right there sitting right there, right? The Anunnaki king is sitting on that device. The magnetic field generator. Keyword, magnetic field generator. Notice the lines on the box facing opposite each other. That represents the opposing magnetic fields. Okay. The next one, field amplifier, right? That's the technology device in the Anunnaki king's hand. As you can see in his hand right there, right? He uses that to control and modulate the magnetic field. Okay. Cymatic frequency generator, right? The cymatics are the most important. You must place the cymatic frequency directly on top of the object that you want to levitate. Okay. You can generate a cymatic frequency using a home stereo speaker or amp. Research cymatics in your free time, like I was saying earlier. It may be a little expensive, but if you're interested, go ahead and do your thing. And then another one is a loud whistle. Notice the two men whistling behind the man lifting the stone table with one hand. You see that? You see that? He lifted with one hand. And see? The whistling tone interacts with the magnetic field in the cymatic frequency in the atoms in the stone table, reverse polarity, greatly reducing the table's gravitational field. Okay? So, okay? So, it's cool to have an open mind. Now, I've had people on Bigo question me about this volcanic cyst stone because whoever discovered this gave it a name. They basically named it I forgot what they named it, but it's like a such and they call it the such and such stone or whatever. Most people that discover stuff, they name it after themselves. Like the Petrichor 7, I think that's what it's called. Like people discover stuff and they name it after themselves. That's just what it is. So people, a particular person, hopefully he see this video. But here, this is the I'm gonna answer your question. And here's the source where I got it, pages 15 to 16. Okay. Now, I typed it up because I'm not going to read from the book, but I'm showing you this is where I got it from. This is my reference as well. Okay. Here you go. Go get Stephen Mailer, The Land of Osiris. Stephen Mailer, man. Go get it. Now, anti-gravity device. So, the research into the claims and life of Dr. J.O. Kinderman in the last 10 years has revealed some very interesting things. With 4 subsequent trips to Egypt in 1997, 1998, and 2 in 1999, I have yet to find a secret entrance on the south face of the Great Pyramid, even though I found notes written by Dr. Kinderman in 1995 pinpointing the exact location of the southwest corner. I have not found chambers or rooms in the pyramid with records from Atlantis, nor devices used to build the structure by use of anti-gravity. Okay. However, I do believe certain devices have been found, some on display in the Cairo Museum, that may be what Kinderman was describing. That may, keyword may, okay? A series of plates made of the volcanic stone schist may have been used to create a sound vibration to overcome gravity and enable the huge blocks of the pyramid to be placed so precisely. Levitation by use of sound is not a phenomenon recognized as valid by orthodox science, okay? Mainstream, basically. But one mentioned in the metaphysical literature for centuries. Hakim has also consistently stated that sound played an important role in both cutting the hard stones and overcoming gravity to lift the stones in place. All right, so now we're going to get into the cutting of the stones. Okay, now I'm going to pause again. I got to pause. I'm not going to rush through this. I got to really look at these pictures. Now look at this, right? I want y'all to really look at this, okay? This is a trench at Abu Rosh. I can go look it up. I'm going to take a quick little break. I've been on for a cool minute. But just take time to look, because they said that this is the trench for boats. Or no, they said that this is the boat's pit, okay? They said it's a pit for boats. And it's for basically the afterlife. You know what I'm saying? So you have people that say that, saying that they're technologically advanced is like mysticism or, stuff like that. And then turn around and say that, that's a boat pit that they have for the afterlife. X, Y, and Z, you know what I'm saying? So this is a trench at Abu Rosh, right? So again, this is from what you call it? Christopher Dunn, Lost Technologies in Ancient Egypt. Okay, y'all can go get the book, right? Now, as we consider the mega saw at Abu Rosh, it might be useful to consider machines with similar dimensions that are in use today. Between 1987 and 1994, mega machines that were thought of as marvels of modern technology chewed through 31.6 miles of chalk marl beneath the English Channel at a rate of 482 feet, okay? Feet per week, okay? Hardened steel and carbide bits at predetermined placements around the cutting face of a tunnel boring machine traveled around an 84-foot circumference, creating a tunnel that was 27 feet in diameter. These were monster machines designed for a mammoth project in which size truly mattered. So, in other words, like, I'm not going to skip this next slide, but just keep this picture, just keep this in mind and kind of use your imagination. Could this have been how they were able to precisely cut these stones? Okay, just keep in mind. With the new evidence gained from Abu Rosh, we know that when the ancient Egyptians tackled mammoth projects, size always mattered. Okay, so again, we hear this copper chisel talk. So you mean to tell me that all millions of those stones were cut by hand? Just be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. I'm not saying hands weren't used, but I'm just saying, like, come on, let's just be one. You mean to tell me but let's keep it pushing. I don't want to get too off, subject. But The evidence shows that when it came to designing equipment that was up to the job of pyramid building, nobody did it better than the ancient Egyptians. While the TBMs that bored through the English Channel were 27 feet in diameter, objective evidence shows that the ancient Egyptians used mega saws for cutting granite, limestone, and basalt that exceeded that diameter. We can calculate the size of the saw by the impression they left on the granite block seen on plate 21. Do I got? Let me see. Hold on. Do I got it? I don't even got the damn. Damn, my bad, y'all. My apologies. But you go get Stephen Miller. Or go get that book. Or go get it. Hold on, my bad. But it says, we should not be surprised that a culture able to conceive and build the largest and most impressive structures on the planet did not limit their efforts to just the constructions, but also the tools they used to build them. The ancient Egyptians created an abundance of evidence from which methods of manufacture can be inferred. Okay. So again, you see this right here, right? They say this is a pit for boats. That's what they said. But as you see to the right, what it shows installation of a saw in the trench shown, as you can see right there. What if this was used allegedly? I'm just saying, what if this was used to cut, for a mega saw to cut them stones? You see what I'm saying? Now I'm not gonna read all this. I'm gonna be honest with you, but just kind of just open your mind, because I want to go all around the world. I don't want to be stuck in Egypt. Let's be honest. But go get Christopher Dunn, Lost Technology of Ancient Egypt. You know what I'm saying? To do your further research. Okay. I don't want to be stuck. I don't want to be stuck. But as you can see, this is how they could have potentially cut the stones. So I'm doing what real scholars do is present new information. You see what I'm saying? But they'll sit there and tell you that this is a boat. This is the boat pit for this. Now I could look at this and get what they're saying, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to use both hemispheres of your brain when it comes to that. Okay. But my apologies. If y'all want, just pause the video. Right, pause it. If you want to read these slides, just pause it and then read it yourself, because it's hot right now, and I'm trying to get through this whole presentation in one live stream. Then I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna always update my information, so I'm gonna go live again, also. Okay, so now evidence of advanced machines and advanced precision. Okay, I'm gonna read both pages. I'm gonna read both of them, right? But before I do so, just take time to look at this piece of granite right here. Just take some time. If you an engineer, or if you deal with any type of machinery, or if you're an engineer, if you deal with stone, if you deal with anything, steel, whatever, just take time, just look at that, and just what comes to mind. Just take your time. You don't need to rush. There's no need to rush. We're not microwave scholarship. Ain't no microwave scholarship. Ain't no Chat GPT, Google, none of that. You know what I'm saying? We put this work in. You know what I mean? So let's go. My clicker. So I'm gonna read it. Not only do we find the paradigm of pyramids as tombs in need of revision, but the accepted theories of how pyramids were built are also sorely lacking in substantive evidence. The toolkits found by Egyptologists and claimed by them to have been used to build the pyramids, listen, namely copper chisels and drills and stone pounders. Okay, I would respect Egyptology if they introduce machinery, like actual machines, or more advanced technology, have been challenged by many authors as being woefully inadequate to accomplish the task. The stone material used by the ancients, right, basalt, granite, diorite, and alabaster, cannot be readily cut and shaped by even the best of copper tools. Okay, so people keep talking about pseudo archaeology. Okay, so they say the strongest challenge to this inadequate paradigm has been put forth by master craftsman and engineer Christopher Dunn in his excellent book The Giza power plant. Go get that book, man. I'm gonna order that soon. I actually I got the other book, The Lost Technologies. I got that book. But look up Christopher Dunn. If you don't have the money, go on YouTube, type in Christopher Dunn, the Giza power plant. He gives a whole lecture. Dunn clearly establishes in his book that the evidence found by Sir William Flinders Petrie and himself indicates lathes, tubular drills, and perhaps ultrasonic machining or some other sort of sophisticated techniques, okay, must have been used to cut and shape granite and basalt, as you can see in this picture on the right. Dunn also points out to the multiple contoured angles, okay, and precision and tolerances, okay, of two 10,000ths of an inch in shape Egyptian stone or granite, basalt, and alabaster as further examples of advanced machining technology used by the ancient craftspeople and engineers. The angles are too precise and the tolerances too fine to be explained in any other way. You see, you know whose thumb that is in that picture on the right? Take a wild guess who thumb that is. My thumb. Okay, that's, you know what I'm saying. Because when it come to getting on the internet and speaking, especially on certain information, I have to show y'all where I get this information from, and I'd rather give it to y'all in this most purest form. I don't like to get on the internet. I'm not a big freestyle type dude. I like to give y'all the information raw and directly from the source. But you see, it says figure. I think it says what is 8? Figure 8. Look, Giza Plateau. Stephen Mailer. Shout out Stephen Mailer. Author standing next to a worked piece of granite in this is in 1999. But you see, it says machine type. Well, I'm going live on Twitch, but I'm gonna upload the video. But if you get to this part, if you want to comment about this piece of granite, comment. What's your thoughts? Does this look machine to you? Yes or no? That's all I want to know. Okay, so again, dealing with but at this point, I don't know what more evidence y'all need to see that they were technologically advanced. Okay, now look at this level of precision. You damn, if some people, you might need some glasses to see this. Look at the line that's cut. Look how precise this is. Come on, man. Look at this. This is paper thin. You see that? Okay then. All right, so let me stop sharing for a second. No, let me do this real quick because I ain't gonna show all my stuff now. Let me do this real quick. Give me 1 second, okay? Give me 1 second. I just want to make sure I'm okay. So I got everything in order. So now we're gonna go to the Serapeum of Saqqara. Okay, we still gonna go all over the world. I'm gonna try to. I've been on for almost an hour. Whew. All right, let's go. So let me get back to my screen. Let me get back to the screen, okay? Because when I looked at this right here, right? Now mind you, this is 70 tons. As you can see, this had to have been machined. You can't tell me that they did this by hand. You can't tell me that. And for two, this is 70 tons. In this small space, mind you, they didn't have no electricity, allegedly. So I guess they did it all in the dark, huh? So the builders of the Serapeum possess advanced technological knowledge, potentially including high-speed drills, diamond-tip cutting tools, and other sophisticated machinery. So go on Google, go on YouTube. If you want to do more research, look up the Serapeum of Saqqara, okay? Now, mind you, and I just screenshotted from some of the videos. That's 70 tons right there. Okay, and there's some theories that these may have been meant for acoustical purposes. I'm gonna play this clip. You got to listen real closely. Hold on.
Granite boxes also possess acoustic properties. The transportation and placement of these massive boxes are also subjects of wonder. The Serapeum's underground tunnels are narrow and winding, making the movement of such large objects a logistical challenge. Also, why are there no signs of torches, such as burn marks, anywhere in the Serapeum of Saqqara? What kind of lighting did they use to illuminate these underground spaces? In contrast to these theories, mainstream archaeology attributes the precision and craftsmanship of the granite boxes to the skill and patience of ancient craftsmen.
Show me somebody that could do this in the dark. Hey, put it in the comment. Put this in the comment. Show me somebody that could do that in the dark, where they can't even see what they. Show me somebody working with 70 tons in pitch black. Please let me know. Just let me know. But look, here's the measurements. Now we're gonna get into and let me get my disclaimer. I'm not an engineer, but I want y'all to really pay attention to the accuracy and the precision. That's the word I meant to say. Precision. 90.8, as you can see. Okay. Now keep this picture in mind as well. Those lights wasn't there when this was constructed, so you got to keep that in mind. 91.45 degrees. 180.5, as you can see, 180.45, okay, 180.6, okay, 90 degrees, okay. Now, I'm gonna have a little fun with this slide right here. I'm gonna have a little fun with this one. Now, here's the thing, right? I put Randall. If you know, I'm a 90s baby. So if you watch Recess, you know Randall was a snitch. He was a tattletale, basically. Now, based off what mainstream science or academia or archaeology says, what I would have did if I was there back then, I would have reported them for dangerous work conditions. You mean to tell me? Hold on, hold on. You mean to tell me you work for 70 tons in the dark? What if that 70 ton fell on your foot? Ain't no steel-toe boots gonna save you. Ain't no steel-toe boots gonna save you. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. So we got to use discernment, and we got to put our ego to the side and just say, hey, we don't know, and have a mind open enough to possibilities. Okay. So I put this right here just to show you. Notice anything? Because people say, oh, this is the lotus flower. And it's a book that I want to. Do I got it right here? Hold on. I think I got it. Give me 1 second. I got it close by. Where is it at? Damn. But it's African origins of electromagnetism. I thought I had it close. Oh, here. Let me see. Hold on. What did I do with it? Oh, here you go. Right here. Hold on. Let me cam up. Let me show y'all. Go get this book right here, y'all. Get on Amazon, y'all. Oops. Hold on. Get this book right here. It's the African origins of electromagnetism. Go get it. Go check it out. Go check it out. Okay, that's another reference. I'm gonna have to try to do that maybe during the video because it's already been an hour. And I don't want to keep y'all. And another thing too, and I'll put it in the description. Please put the video at like increase the playback speed so you don't be sitting for no whole hour. You can kind of cut it a little bit. You know what I mean? But as you can see, that they had to utilize electricity in order for tourists to go inside the pyramids and see inside. So did the ancestors construct these walkways in the dark? The answer clearly is no, and they had electricity. I stand on that. Until you can prove me wrong, I don't care. Because there's no soot, there's no evidence of no soot. You will have to be in there with fire burning long enough to construct these pathways. This ain't no, but again, let me get back to the slideshow. Because we still in Egypt. And I still got to go around the world. But this is the most talked about thing. Now, why were they built? Now, why were they built? This is the conclusion that I came to based off my research. This is just me personally. Okay. This is just me personally, right? The pyramids were never meant to be tombs. They were machines, massive energy devices built with knowledge we can't replicate today. Okay. The Great Pyramid of Giza is aligned perfectly with true north, with less than 1/20th of a degree of error, and all three pyramids are lined up with the Orion constellation. These builders were not guessing, they were harnessing the stars. So, in other words, they were a minimum of a type 2 civilization. Go look up type civilization. It's I can't think of the name, car something scale. Just look up type civilizations, and you'll know what I'm talking about. And look up type 2, because it deals with harnessing the stars. Okay. Now, the base of the pyramids are made up of granite packed with quartz crystals. Quartz, right, produces electricity under pressure, which is known as the piezoelectric effect. Okay, I'm gonna read this again because I don't want this to fly past nobody's head. Because when people say the Giza pyramids is a power plant, this is what they're talking about. I'm gonna say this again. The base of the pyramids is made up of granite packed with quartz crystals. Quartz produces electricity under pressure, which is known as the piezoelectric effect. Look it up, piezoelectric effect, because we produce that in our brain as well. You know, with certain breathing techniques, you can actually produce this effect in your brain also. The weight of the pyramid is millions of tons, so it's applying constant pressure, which means constant power. Okay, okay, all right. The Nile River used to flow beside the Great Pyramid. Water channels ran underneath it, and the movement of the water created electromagnetic energy like a hydroelectric plant. So now let's talk about the missing capstone that was once on the top, right? The capstone was not decorative. It wasn't a decoration. It's not like something you put on top of no Christmas tree. No, it wasn't decorative. It was conductive and a transmitter. And I honestly believe that it broadcast the energy wireless across the world in ancient times. Okay, and here's my source right here. Just y'all can go look deeper into this. You know what I'm saying? Fraser River and the Great Pyramid have in common. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody trying to say that it wasn't if people trying to say that it wasn't quartz crystals and granite on the bottom, okay, prove me wrong there. Prove me wrong there. So I'm gonna do a part 2 actually, because I clearly see this is gonna take me a long time just to get through Egypt, let alone to India and different other parts of the world. So I'm gonna end this right now. My apologies, but what I'm gonna get into next is the again because I'm getting into why they were built, and I'm gonna get into the bent pyramid and the red pyramid. That's the pyramid of Maydoun right there on the left, but it's all one picture, as you can see. But I'm going to get into the bent pyramid and the red pyramid and how the bent pyramid was not a mistake, and it was built for a specific purpose. And I have acoustical engineers to back up my claim. So I'm gonna end it right here. I'm gonna do a part 2 maybe tomorrow. I'm gonna take a break. I've been an hour 8 minutes. It's a little high. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, let me know what y'all think in the comments. You know what I'm saying? And if you enjoyed the information, like, comment, subscribe, share with your people that's interested in this type of stuff. And yeah, so I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Hope the rest of y'all day is the best of y'all day. Part 2 will be coming soon. Peace.